5 years into my engagement with Ethan Ford. He secretly held a wedding ceremony with a college girl. When I arrived, they were passionately kissing amidst the crowd's cheers. Ethan raised an eyebrow upon seeing me. The kid wanted a ceremony. Don't worry. We didn't file the paperwork. I turned away without tears or drama. He assumed I was sulking until the heir of Manhattan's elite posted our marriage certificate online. Ethan showed up drenched by rain, pounding on my door. When I answered with still flushed cheeks, I said, "Relax. We only filed the papers. No ceremony." Chase descended the stairs wearing nothing but a towel around his hips, arms snaking around my waist. So I'm still your dirty little secret? At the chaotic wedding venue, guests chanted for the newlyweds to kiss. The blushing bride in white gazed up as Ethan cradled her head, deepening their embrace. I numbly watched their feverish lip lock until Ethan's frat brother noticed me and stammered, "Mrs. Ford?" The room plunged into silence as I approached. Luna clumsily tried hiding behind Ethan, who showed zero remorse at being caught. He pulled her against his chest with theatrical flair. Luna insisted on playing house. "Don't fret, the Ford family heirloom ring stays yours. We'd grown up together. Our engagement arranged by both families after graduation. The Ford heir's reputation as a serial dater who cycled through women had made me a laughingstock." Smiling coolly, I produced the square velvet box containing the Ford family's heirloom bracelet. "This belongs to your mother now." Ethan toyed with the box, smirking, pulling out the big guns this time to make me dump her. I ignored his mocking tone. "Our engagement ends today. We're free to marry others." His face darkened. "Tina." "Repeat that." His friend intervened hastily. "Mrs. Ford. This farce doesn't mean anything. Ethan's just watching my fiancé marry another woman." I simply walked away. "Go after her," someone urged. "Why bother?" Ethan shrugged. "She'll come crawling back like always. You literally married someone this time." As Ethan glanced toward the exit, Luna tugged his sleeve. "Can I see the bracelet?" Later at the bar, Sophia found me draining my second Bordeaux bottle. "Let me guess, Ethan's banging an influencer or some sorority girl?" "He got married today." Sophia grabbed a bottle. "I'll murder that bastard." "Dump him already. I added you to our elite dating group. 30 guys already slid into your DMs." My phone buzzed nonstop with notifications. "Bathroom break." I mumbled, fleeing the barrage of thirsty messages from Manhattan's most eligible bachelors. In the hallway, a man leaned against the wall smoking, his ill-fitting suit and carelessly unbuttoned collar making him look dangerously out of place. Sensing my gaze, he frowned. "Chase? What's he doing here?" I approached with practiced ease. "Chase, got a smoke?" He arched an eyebrow. "I thought becoming Ethan's girlfriend turned you into a prim little church mouse. Not afraid he'll find out about this habit?" When I stayed silent, he leaned closer with that infuriating smirk. "Heard your boy Ethan threw some lavish wedding for another woman today. You two done?" I reached into his jacket for cigarettes and lighter, exhaling smoke through a humorless smile. I challenged. "Chase, my place tonight?" Our locked gaze spoke volumes. Adults understood this language perfectly. Chase stubbed out his cigarette, amusement dancing in his eyes. I suddenly remembered his notorious reputation for avoiding entanglements. "Just kidding," I began. "Deal." His interruption surprised me. Later, Chase pressed my thumb to his penthouse biometric lock before pinning me against the doorframe. His kiss was all teeth and possession. "Tina, you bite like a feral kitten," he growled against my lips. I tugged his hair. Less talking, more making me speechless. Dawnlight crept through blinds when I finally drifted off, only to be jolted awake by insistent ringing. Blindly patting the sheets for my phone, I heard Chase's dark chuckle. His expression hardened seeing Ethan's video call Idaho. He passed me the device, pulling the duvet up to my collarbones. I answered with sleep-gritted eyes. Ethan's icy smile filled the screen. Yesterday you preached about going our separate ways. Now you're bad-mouthing Luna to my mother? Who contacted that hag? Are you delusional? My raspy voice betrayed everything. His eyes narrowed. You're sick. Don't play dumb. My smirk fueled his rage. Where are you? He roared, face contorting. Mr. Ford. I enunciated coldly. We're strangers now. The call ended with my trembling thumb. Across town in the VIP lounge, Ethan's knuckles whitened around his whiskey glass. She actually hung up on you? His cronies snickered. Tina's bluffing about canceling the engagement. This whole other man act? Pathetic attempt to make you jealous. Their laughter eased Ethan's scowl slightly. Meanwhile, Chase watched me stare at the darkened phone. That trust fund fuckboy paraded mistresses before marriage. You think he'd stay faithful? You're wasted on him. I tilted my head. Meaning? He lit a cigarette. Business sharp despite our nakedness. The East Side development project you're obsessed with? You'll never clinch it alone. Marry me, combine our resources through the Chin family, and it's yours. Dawn fully illuminated the room now. And my clear mind. Given the capabilities of the Chin family, they could easily handle this independently. Why share profits with me? Maybe. I don't want you freeloading. My lips twitched involuntarily. After brief consideration, I extended my hand. Pleasure doing business. 40 minutes later, Chase and I walked out of City Hall, staring at the crimson marriage certificate in my hand. I felt like I was floating through a daydream. Let's go. What? Meeting clients already? Chase patted my hair, chuckling hoarsely. Honeymoon. We suited up in diving gear, plunging into cerulean waters teeming with iridescent coral reefs and shimmering fish schools. Chase gestured for me to follow deeper. At our descent's peak, we tilted our heads upward to behold an underwater galaxy of bioluminescent stars. Upon resurfacing, staff informed me about incessant phone alerts. Dozens of messages flooded my screen. MS. Johnson. This is DK Bridal's manager. When can you schedule your gown fitting? MS. Johnson. Our wedding planners need your floral preferences for international delivery. Miss Johnson. Mr. Ford purchased a diamond ring at our boutique. When will you come for sizing adjustments? Wedding gowns? Flowers? Rings? My frown deepened with each notification. Had my number been leaked? The phone buzzed again, Ethan's caller ID flashing. Where the hell are you? His accusatory tone grated. 30 missed calls. HR says you took month-long leave. None of your business. We're done. Remember? Ethan laughed dismissively. Still sulking about Luna's wedding? Fine. I'll throw you one too. Check those messages, pick whatever dress and venue you want. Are you mentally ill? I snapped, vividly imagining his offended squint. Tina, you started this wedding tantrum. I'm offering solution. Take it or stay single forever. Typical Ethan, expecting immediate gratitude for crumbs. We're over. Marry whoever you want. You lunatic. 3 sharp fines. Barked through the speaker. You're rejecting this chance? Don't come crying later. Psychopath. I hissed as Chase returned, towel-drying his hair. Ethan? Thinks I'm jealous about Luna's wedding. How did I ever date that narcissist? Chase simply smiled. Over the following weeks, we explored electric blue ice caves in Iceland, drifted over Cappadocia in sunrise-kissed hot air balloons. Returning home, Sophia demanded drinks. Despite layering concealer, my neck required silk scarf camouflage. She drained 2 margaritas immediately. Ethan's lost it. Rented every digital billboard downtown for that Luna's birthday. A-listers recording tributes, playing 24/7 for a month. How's this not humiliating you? Calmly sipping my cocktail, I revealed, I'm married. Disbelief melted into shock when she saw the certificate. Chase? The legendary untouchable bachelor? How? None of that matters. What really matters is that Ethan isn't even in the same league as Chase. I'd give anything to see his face when he finds out you married Chase. Her anger vanished instantly. We should celebrate this properly. Dinner's on me tonight. Sophia couldn't hold her liquor, getting tipsy after just a few drinks. I set down my glass. Stay put. I'll get you some sober-up tea. In the hallway, I ran into Zane. He perked up eagerly. Sis, you're here. Ethan's cruise in VIP 6. Ethan and I are over. Just call me Tina from now on. Enjoy your night. Zane mistook my calm for lingering resentment. Look, Ethan went too far that time. Just give him a chance to apologize properly. We're in VIP 6. Come by later. Okay? To return to VIP 3 meant passing VIP 6. Hearing familiar voices, I paused at the door. Through the cracked doorway, Ethan lounged on the couch, shirt unbuttoned to his sternum. Luna's swollen lips told the whole story. Bro, I just saw Tina outside. Zane's voice carried. Knew she couldn't stay away. Didn't think she'd last a whole month without contacting you. The second she heard you were throwing some girl a birthday bash? Couldn't resist checking in. Ethan's expression remained icy. Who invited her? We're done. Come on. Man. This is the longest she's ever gone radio silent. Don't push it too far. Seriously. Ethan. Send this chick packing before Tina blows up again. Ethan glanced at the demure Luna beside him. It's my birthday today, she whispered. Head bowed. My fingers brushed the silk scarf at my throat. Removing it, I pushed through the door. Every head turned. The marks stood out starkly even in the dim club lighting. Ethan shot to his feet, eyes narrowing to slits. What the hell's on your neck? Memories of Chase's frenzied mouth flashed through my mind. Smiling sweetly, hickeys. His foot slammed into a side table. Fury radiating. Who did this? You're actually screwing around behind my back. What's it to you, Ethan? A decent ex should stay buried. He sneered. Tina, if I ever reach out to you again, I'm a goddamn mutt. Back in VIP 3. Sophia sipped her tea. What took so long? I nearly went looking. Just handled some pest control. Nodding toward the crashing sounds next door. Didn't want flies buzzing around forever. Let's go. We called separate rides home. Months later, the college girl Ethan married graduated into Hollywood. After minor success, she hired trolls to flood Johnson Group's socials. Ethan treats Luna differently. Gave her a lavish wedding without blinking. That pink diamond? Pocket change. Take the hint already. Stop clinging to that fiancé title. The unloved one's the real homewrecker. Let them be happy. My assistant handed me a tablet. MS. Johnson? Should we purge these comments? Dig up Luna's skeletons for the tabloids. Blacklist her from all Johnson-affiliated media outlets. What if Mr. Ford intervenes? Handle my instructions first. Within the hour, Luna's socials exploded. How dare you flaunt your affair? I went to school with Luna. Perfect angel facade. But she burned cigarettes into my arms and stole my scholarship. As Luna's body double, she only films close-ups. I did 70% of her scenes. CGI edits the rest. XPA here, she made us drain and refill a pool with bottled water before shooting. Even A-listers aren't this high maintenance. The most despicable person has got to be Ethan. Changing girlfriends every few days. That kind of man should have been 6 feet under ages ago. Ethan, aren't you going to answer your little girlfriend's call? She's getting torn apart by netizens. Tina remained her usual self, settling scores with everyone except Ethan. Ethan ignored the question. Has Tina contacted any of you these past few days? The group exchanged knowing glances. No. Are you deliberately promoting Luna to provoke Tina? Bad move. With all the rumors about you and Luna swirling around, has Tina called you even once? Someone dared to ask. Ethan, if you really want to get back with Tina, just swallow your pride and call her. What's there to lose? If someone else makes the first move, let her be. If she wants to break up, fine. I'm not short of girlfriends. That night, Sophia's message popped up. Forgot to mention last time, the whole crowd says Chase swings the other way. You think he's, functional? I was stifling laughter when darkness loomed over me. Prefer men? I looked up into Chase's amused gaze. My throat went dry. Let's test tonight whether I'm functional. Before I knew it, we were tangled in bed sheets. Maybe it was the alcohol, but my cheeks burned feverishly. At the peak of passion, I sank my teeth into his shoulder. Rain lashed against windows while our room simmered with heat. The relentless phone ring finally made Chase check it. Ethan's calling. Want to answer? My tear-reddened eyes shook. Sweetheart. His voice turned velvety. I can't stand how this leech keeps clinging to you. Then you answer. The triumphant glint in his eyes might have been my imagination. Drunken slurring erupted from the receiver. Tina. I'm wasted, come get me. Why won't you care anymore? Chase snorted. It's me. Dead silence. Then Ethan's venomous snarl. Chase. You homewrecker. We're legally married. Why's my wife getting midnight calls from you? Impossible. The voice cracked. Tina, please come. Let's stop this. Summoning clarity. I stated, Ethan. We're done. You're just an ex. Chase smirked in approval, hanging up abruptly. At the bar, Ethan sat frozen after the call. Tina's really done this time. Can't blame her, you've been out of control. Sneaking around with Luna. That actress you gave rings to. Letting your secretary storm Johnson Corp. Most women would have dumped you years ago. Enough. Ethan roared, grabbing car keys. He's drunk. Can't let him drive. Gone already. Probably racing to Tina's place. With Chase there, this'll get ugly. Back at my place. Chase murmured against my neck. Tina, want to post on socials? This version of him dangerously alluring made me nod mindlessly. Within a minute, our crowd exploded. Photoshopped? Congrats! Finally got your lifelong crush. Though does Tina know you've been pining for decades? Holy shit! Why does this person look so familiar? Isn't that Ethan Ford's fiancé? What's going on here? Congratulations. Congratulations. Chase replied to a few messages with a cigarette between his lips before heading to shower. The urgent knocking downstairs made me pull the blanket over my head, but the persistent pounding left no room for ignoring. Descending in black spaghetti-strap nightgown, I grabbed our marriage certificate from the cabinet, already knowing who stood outside. When I opened the door, my flushed face met Ethan's rain-drenched figure. Tina. I'll stop fooling around. Let's reconcile. His voice cracked. I never thought our wedding would threaten your position as Mrs. Ford. That's why I agreed. Leaning weakly against the doorframe, I flashed the marriage certificate. We're legally married now. We'll invite you to celebrate properly at our wedding. Chase descended shirtless in towel, his arms snaking around my waist. Ethan's fist connected with his jaw. My brother? You coveted Tina? Grabbing Ethan's collar, Chase retaliated. You drove her away through 5 years of fuck-ups. Their brawl intensified as rain soaked through Ethan's trembling form. Tina. His bloodshot eyes pleaded. I'm drunk. Make me sobering soup? Fuck this. Chase slammed the door, pressing me against it as Ethan's desperate knocking reverberated. When are we marrying properly? He demanded, nuzzling my neck. I want public vows. Our wedding should eclipse whatever spectacle you had with him. My kiss met his lips. Done. Next morning, Zane called. Ethan crashed his car into guardrails last night. The front's totaled, but he's alive, refusing treatment unless you visit. Mrs. Tina, please come. How many numbers you got? I asked. Just this one. Click. Blocked. Since when did ex-fiancés become responsible for married men's hospitalizations? Zane showed Ethan the dead screen. She's done with you. Ethan stared at the darkened chat window silently. Later that day, he discharged himself against medical advice. Returning to my apartment for documents week later, I found him perched on flower beds in hospital gown. Tina. He approached like wounded animal, rubbing temples. I sighed. What now? Chase planned this. He rasped. Feverish. Jealous of our engagement since high school. Remember those love letters in your backpack? His doing. Now he's manipulating. So he forced you to date starlets and college girls? Made you parade them publicly? Ethan avoided my gaze. I'm burning up. Let me upstairs for water. Married now. Dialing Mrs. Ford. I walked away from his crumbling facade. All right. All right. I'm coming right over. The aunt immediately rushed over. When she arrived, she slapped Ethan in exasperation. What are you still doing here, making a spectacle of yourself? Look at all the things you've done. I can't even face Tina's parents anymore. Get out now. Mrs. Johnson. I have several important meetings later. I'll take my leave first. Fine. Go handle your business. I'll deal with this idiot right away. I nodded politely and turned to leave. To my surprise, Ethan was still sitting there when I returned. His thin hospital gown drew lingering stares from passers-by. He stared blankly at the community entrance until my car pulled in, then abruptly stood up. I took a deep breath and tried to walk past him, but he blocked my path, holding out the jewelry box I'd returned. I never intended to give this bracelet to anyone else. Please take it back. I smiled coldly and showed him a photo on my phone, Luna's selfie wearing the exact bracelet. Ethan hurriedly explained. She only tried it on that day after you left. She just wanted to see it. I didn't bother listening, shaking off his hand as I headed upstairs. When Chase returned, I watched from the window as they exchanged words before suddenly brawling. I rushed downstairs. You think you're any better? Ethan shouted, blood trickling from his lip. Why don't you tell Tina about your schemes with the East District project? That entire collaboration was your trap. You orchestrated my affairs by having managers send those women to me. Tina. Don't believe his lies. Chase looked at me anxiously. I interlaced my fingers with his, handing Ethan a wedding favor. Chase and I are getting married on the 8th. You're welcome to attend. Back in our room, Chase seemed distracted, a first in our relationship. Some of what he said was true. He admitted, I knew you wanted the East District project, so I used it as pretext for our marriage. The women? I might have hinted managers to introduce his type at parties. I'm not the good man you think. I know exactly who Ethan is. I interrupted. Even without your interference, he'd have grown bored of married life soon enough. Chase blinked in surprise. You're not angry? Of course not. I laughed, smoothing his furrowed brow. I chose this marriage deliberately. Only naive girls marry for love alone. The East District project broke ground smoothly as our wedding preparations accelerated. While debating whether to use all chocolates or assorted candies for wedding favors, a live notification popped up. Ethan knelt bleeding on the pavement, crawling forward on battered knees. Forgive me, Tina. Each painful shuffle accompanied his hoarse pleas. It reminded me of our early dating days when he'd vowed, if I ever wrong you, I'll crawl on broken glass to Mount Willow. The live stream chat exploded. Frowny face. Karma's a bitch. Should have thought earlier. Last week he was dating that actress. That jawline though, maybe forgive him? I'd sell my soul for his ex's new husband. Total six-pack material. I called repeatedly, but Ethan kept crawling as viewership skyrocketed. Eventually, security dragged him away while netizens debated whether his humiliation stemmed from genuine remorse or corporate sabotage. Chase wrapped his arms around me from behind as I closed the live stream. Regrets? Only that we didn't order more chocolate samples, I said, leaning into his warmth. The East District's construction floodlights glittered beyond our window like urban constellations. I stared at the man rejecting calls in the video. Climbing Laoshan Mountain kneeling step by step would take at least 24 hours. The most humiliating part? He kept murmuring, "I'm sorry, Tina," the entire time. Zane Lucas called, "Tina, I know Ethan wronged you, but he's still running a fever and hasn't recovered. Could you take pity on him and call? Just once? You're wasting time calling me. Take some guys to knock him out and drag him back to the hospital." Ethan kept kneeling upward, ignoring bystanders' stares, rejecting all calls, deaf to any persuasion. Even when Zane's group arrived, they could only watch helplessly. Ethan finally reached the summit by next evening, collapsing from exhaustion as medics carried him down. Mrs. Ford called while my mother and I were finalizing wedding details. "Auntie, Tina dear." Mrs. Ford's voice trembled. "I've no right to ask this, but Ethan insists on seeing you. He won't listen to anyone else." My mother gestured for the phone. "Helen, my daughter's getting married soon. It's improper for her to visit your son. How about sending my future son-in-law instead? They used to be close friends." Mrs. Ford sighed. "Chase's presence might worsen things." "Nonsense. Ancient wisdom says fight poison with poison. Chase will be there shortly." At the hospital, I waited outside the ward. The moment Chase entered, Ethan's eyes burned with hatred. "You schemed against me from the first actress onward. That trap of yours. I never escaped. Can't control your own urges, yet blame others?" Chase leaned against the doorframe. "Without my meddling, would Tina ever have chosen me?" Outside, gardenias bloomed. I took a walk, missing the subsequent conversation. Whatever Chase said worked. Ethan stopped appearing before me for days. Instead, Luna approached multiple times. "Sister, could we talk?" Her whispered words and lowered gaze contrasted sharply with the bold troll who'd hired armies to curse me on company posts. Luna twisted her fingers silently. As I rose to leave, she blurted, "I'm pregnant." I sipped coffee. "Miss Lynn, why tell me? Surely the child isn't mine?" Her head snapped up. "It's Ethan's. He wants me to terminate it. Please persuade him. I'll return everything he gave me. Just let me keep the baby." "You've mistaken your audience. As his ex-fiancé, I've no business discussing this. Stop the act. We both know material possessions outweigh this child for you." Luna suddenly knelt. "But you're all he sees now. Without you, he might let me keep it. His friends say I'm special. That only I could make him marry. He even gave me a ring." Ethan's special exceptions overflow like confetti. I tapped my cup. "Aside from your pink diamond's value, that ring design? Half his flings received identical copies." "That's impossible." Her face paled. "Everyone says I lasted longest. Did he ever promise exclusivity?" Her mouth opened soundlessly. "See? He couldn't even bother lying properly." As Luna tried protesting, I cut in, "Never approach me again. At work or elsewhere. We're strangers. Joey, escort our guest out." The assistant ushered her away before knocking later. "Miss Johnson." The final wedding cake samples arrived. "Mr. Johnson, don't listen to that Luna's nonsense. The baby in her belly definitely isn't Ethan's. My friend said ever since she got blacklisted by the agency. She's been pulling every trick to get re-signed. You can imagine the methods she's used without me spelling it out. I looked up at the junior colleague, keep overseeing the East District project. Don't bother me with trivial matters. The wedding day dawned clear and bright. Everyone from our social circle attended. Ethan wore no trace of embarrassment despite being caught cheating by his fiancée. Today's Tina's wedding. What's with this nonsense? Chase is infinitely better than that Ethan anyway. Sophia had always disliked Ethan, and certainly didn't want his name mentioned at the ceremony. My apologies. Shouldn't have brought it up. I smiled graciously. Let's take our seats. The ceremony's starting soon. The venue dazzled with traditional Chinese grandeur. My wedding dress, personally commissioned by Chase, shimmered with golden phoenix embroidery. The phoenix crown's gold tassels framed my face. Ceremonial robes draping over my shoulders. Two families united. One bond forged. May this union endure. Equals matched in harmony. Post-ceremony, I changed into the reception gown. Zane pressed Ethan's Buddhist prayer beads from Wulao Mountain into my palm. Ethan's drowning in regret now. Says he'd cherish you properly if given another chance. Zane kept rambling, oblivious to Chase's darkening expression. I laughingly separated them. Exhausted, I collapsed onto bed after the long day. Chase undressed me, our clothes pooling on the bathroom floor. Steam fogged the mirrors as he pinned me against cool tiles. Hands possessive on my waist. Before I could catch my breath, his lips descended in urgent, devouring kisses.